stuff on a car lot. They got this nice camper over here, and there's a Alfa Romeo, I believe, sitting over there, and truck, motorcycle. You saw the old car out in the driveway, and basement full of pinball machines and video games and old skeet ball. There's like 4 of those down there. I guess her husband's hobby is repairing those things and getting them up and running. So it's pretty cool down there, a little nostalgic. It reminds me of the old days of going to the beach and going to the arcades. Anyway, we got I don't know if it's going to be a mismatched unit situation. She said there's another company that comes out every year. They have to come out and do something to get the air conditioning to work right. And then they have to come back out and get the heat to work right. And it didn't work right last year, so now she has called to have somebody else look at it. It is a mismatched equipment situation. We got a 2020 4-ton Goodman outdoor unit, and then we got a 4-ton 2006 ADP air handler. So I don't, but the air handler says R22 410A, but I don't know was the original unit that was on it an R22. She can't tell me. So my concern there was, did they change the TXV in it when they put this unit on, or what? It may be something simple, maybe something electrical, I don't know. She said they did tell her one time it was something related to her thermostat. They do have Ecobee thermostats in the house. I don't have it on yet. I'm just checking my wiring right now. I've looked at the thermostat to see what that looks like, and I'll see how it's wired, and then the air handler. Now I want to check this, and then we'll go inside and turn it on. Some of the crudiness out of here. Let me open up the tripod and get you some better angle on this thing. So it's not going to be a reversing valve switch deal. So it is a energized in cooling system still. They didn't come out here and throw a ream on the unit and then put the thermostat in wrong or something. So we got our O, we got our common there, and we got Y. Let's see, we're using blue now on this one. So yeah, I guess we're using blue, our blue-purple wire on this Goodman right there instead of using a yellow. So everything out here looks okay. The capacitor's not swollen or anything like that. Let me check, make sure we've got voltage on this thing. And we'll go inside and turn the thermostat on. The Corvette, about 7 other cars on the other side of the house in the driveway. I guess I'm assuming it's a used car lot. But Alright, I do have 248 volts. So let's I'm gonna run out, turn the thermostat on, see what this thing does. Alright, we are up and running. Let's start by checking the charge on it and see what unless there's a leak somewhere and they probably had Joe Snow Heating and Air come out here and install this thing, come out and throw an outdoor unit on it, and I mean, excuse me, 14 years apart. I don't know why you don't just go ahead and swap the outdoor unit and the indoor unit, because in 2020, well, that lets me know he didn't pull a permit on it, because you can't do that here anymore. The equipment mismatch thing, we're one of the 5 or 6, 7 states now that does not allow that with heat pumps. So some oil up inside that Schrader core valve right there. It's got an O-ring in it, but it's leaking. But yeah, you can't, they won't issue you a permit here now if you're mismatching. You got to be able to provide paperwork showing that the outdoor unit and the indoor unit on the house is an AHRI match, and is going to provide the efficiency that the system is advertising. So not a lot of, I mean, there's like 6 or 7, 8 states that I know of that, and it's changing. Eventually it'll be pretty much all of them as the years go by, but can't mismatch equipment here anymore. If it was a 3-year-old air handler, 4-year-old air handler, we still get a match outdoor unit for it, fine. But you're not gonna find any paperwork showing an ADP 2006 air handler with this unit is gonna give you 13, 14C or whatever your requirement is. So they don't do it. So let's get the phone opened up and see what our pressures are. I mean, if you ain't pulling a permit for it, you can do it, but you better not get caught. So, as I suspected, we've got a 2-degree superheat and a 4.7 degree subcooling. So we're going to have a metering device issue. I'm pretty sure it's going to be our problem. I don't know that they didn't change it. I'm going to go in there and look at it, make sure it's a 410A TXV on that air handler. But I mean, it could be a restriction in the coil, could just be a bad TXV if they changed it. But this thing is low superheat, low subcooling. It's pretty much flooding the evaporator. Because if I've got 1 degree of superheat out here, I'll probably have 0 inside, because it's going to absorb some heat between there and here. It's down in the basement, we're probably 30 feet from the air handler. So it's going to pull in a little heat. So let's go take a peek inside that air handler and see what we got going on. Alright, I'm going to stick this thing in this Airstream in a minute and cool it down. These GoPro cameras get kind of hot, so I'll mute that out. But anyway, so here's our 2006 ADP air handler. It says R22 410A. It's 2006, so I don't know if it was an R22 unit on this before or a 410A unit. Did they change the metering device? So we're going to look into all that. We're going to get a temperature split real quick, see how that works out for us. Pop me a hole right there. Get my return temperature. Pop it up at the top somewhere. Supply temperature. Touched the hold button. So we're looking at about a 75 degree, 74 degree return. Let's see what we get on our supply up here. Let that sit in there for a hot minute. Okay, hit the hold button again. Say that air is not getting very cold. Which makes me wonder, are the heat strips on? So I've basically got a 0 degree split on this. It's upside down, but at 75 return, 75 supply. I wonder if our heat strips are running. We'll check that out. Alright guys, got the door off. I disconnected wire to shut the outdoor unit off because I don't want that coil to start frosting. Now my air is bypassing the coil with that door off. So I just turned that off temporarily. I took the door off and all that crap fell out on the floor right there. But anyway, let's check, see if we got heat strips. I'm guessing we do, because now my supply temperature is 97. And if I hook up right there, we got 45.4 degrees or amps. So we got to figure out why the heat strips are running when this thing's calling for cooling. It could be that Nest thermostat. I do not know. So let's see if we can figure that out real quick. There's two white wires. For whatever reason, we got a G connected to a white wire here instead of just G. I think this is going to be my auxiliary heat. So where does this white wire go to? It's going back into this plug. White wire, and that white wire is connected to our heat sequencer. So they've got the heat sequencer for the heat strips right there. This white wire connected to our G right there. We've got this white wire tied in. If you trace it out through the plug, it goes to the heat sequencer there on the bottom. So what in the world? So let's see if our heat strips shut off. The sequencer is going to take a few minutes. Well, about 30-45 seconds or so. Stage out. That doesn't even make sense. At 26 volts, that's our G. Don't have anything on that white wire. But yeah. Okay, the sequencer finally staged out. We're good. Evidently, that's a double stack sequencer. It takes it, I guess, about a minute for each stage of heat strips to cycle down. Now, with that many kW, it makes me skeptical. I'm assuming that wire is going to be big enough. So, yeah, that's our problem. Somebody, for whatever reason, give me a timeout. I'm going to stick this thing in here to let it cool off. So anyway, so for whatever reason, this is connected there. It's connected to fan. So every time the blower comes on, it's cutting on heat strips. And it should be connected here. So now I've got to figure out whether that works properly or not. I'll check the wiring in it and go through everything, but yeah, I don't know who it was she had coming out, but she said every year they had to come out and disconnect something or change something for the air conditioning to work. And this year they they decided to stop calling her, so I guess she's having a heat problem, because this looks like they were trying to get the heat to come on every time the thermostat called. And maybe her real problem's a heating problem, I don't know. But I'm going to connect that back over there, which is where it should be. And it could be they put up that Ecobee thermostat. It could be not set up correctly. I don't know. I have to go double check the setup on it. But I mean, you don't want your heat strip coming on every time you turn the damn blower on. I mean, even if you just turn it on to circulate some air on a cool day, open the windows, it's blowing 98-degree air in the house. So let me hook up G, and then we'll put the door back on, go back outside. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me hook up Y, and we'll get the outdoor unit on, get this door back on. Alright, so now we've got a 53-degree supply. 53-degree supply with the heat strips off, as they should be in cooling mode. And we've got that 2-degree superheat. Somebody may have I could probably pull a little charge out of it to get that thing down, but this has got the wrong metering device in it. Alright guys, so while I'm waiting for this thing to come back on, all this paperwork that fell out, I did a little investigating on it, and it seems to be this was the original unit that was on this ADP air handler. It is a 2006. This air handler is a 2006, and if you listen north, it's a Duquesne outdoor unit, and if you look over here, 13 SEER R22. Told you. So they hooked that thing up to this, and it's still got the R22 piston in it. There's not a TXV in there. I just happened to pick this up to put it away, and this fell out of it. And there you go. There's our ADP air handler right here, right there. And then it's telling us right here, our high efficiency Duquesne outdoor unit, 13 SEER R22. So this is why you don't swap the outdoor unit. And I mean, if the indoor unit is close enough in age that you can get another match outdoor unit from the same manufacturer to go on it, 410A, same refrigerant preferably, maybe the metering device will still work. But this is, I mean, it's always the people with money that seem to take the shortcuts. So it is what it is. But so they got screwed on this one, and he didn't even know how to figure out the heat strip problem. So he probably dumped charge in it too, for all I know. But anyway, you got to figure out, make sure those heat strips come on and it's working properly when it's calling for heat. Check the setup on the thermostat. But there you go. So we got a 4-year-old outdoor unit, 410A, 4-ton, sitting in here with an R22 air handler and an R22 metering device in it. Didn't change the piston. If you're going to do a system replacement for somebody, don't cut corners. Do it right. Give them what they deserve. The match indoor, match outdoor. Compressor goes out. If it's 3 or 4-year-old unit, 5-year-old unit, 6-year-old, and it's out of warranty, you can still get an outdoor unit to match the indoor unit. That's fine. But when you're going from R22 to 410A, and you're putting a 410A system outside, square it away on the inside. Go ahead and get the air handler too and do a complete job. Anyway, guys, no reason to go back out there. We know why the refrigerant, superheat, and subcooling are both low, 2 degrees and 4 degrees. Mismatched equipment, incorrect metering device. I'm waiting for the thermostat to go back into a call so I can see what my split is, and I'm going to give them their options. Either see if we can find a piston to go in here to kind of halfway get it going, leave it like it is, or come back and give them an air handler to match that outdoor unit, because in that situation, that unit is only 4 years old. We can still get an air handler that'll work with it. So anyway, guys, that's what you find sometimes. Appreciate you watching.